benvenuti nel mio studio a Venezia. Il miracolo della tecnologia. Ci siamo tutti.
È fantastico, fantastico.
James, can you hear me?
Sì.
Ah, bene, bene, bene. It's
Nice to meet you, James. Nice to meet you.
Can you hear that?
Swines. Fantastico.
Can you also see this? James, can you see
Yeah,
that?
yeah. Oh, I remember.
Welcome. This is a welcome to me when I came.
Grande festa, yeah, I remember.
Grande Festa, 1991. We came in your beautiful studio in New York, and you did this for us. And this is a great thing to remember because it's
the good old days.
Friendship.
Yeah, I know.
Now you are virtually in my studio, and I wish you could be here.
Yeah, this Zoom thing is I use it every day now. I mean,
It's connecting all of us.
A lot of conferences and stuff.
Yes.
Everybody's doing it. I don't think anybody's ever going to go back to work. That's what I'm afraid. No, I mean, you can do so much from
Anyway, James, we can say one thing that is so important, that we have all been put together by a great friend that we now remember here, Pierre Stani. He introduced me, he linked me to Viana and to you when there was Venezia. You remember Venezia?
Venezia, yeah.
Venezia. So we will have, we think at what happened in all these years, and they have been many, many years of friendship and work also together, also connecting Italy with New York. And I'm so glad. Diana, tu sei stata la mia mentore per tanti anni, ecco che sei arrivata tu.
Effettivamente Pierre Stani è stato un amico tuo, di James Wine, mio, una figura veramente particolare perché era il trade union con la scuola di Parigi e la scuola di New York, perché i tuoi riferimenti come città sono Venezia, New York, Madrid. E un altro elemento che accomuna te e James Wines è il fatto che vi siete occupati del binomio natura-cultura che Pierre Stani veramente ha seguito, praticato e teorizzato. Ma tu a New York avevi delle conoscenze di artisti straordinari. Nominiamo subito una donna, Louise Bourgeois, poi Tom Wesselman, George Segal e il qui presente James Wines.
James Wines is my greatest friend in New York.
The good old days, oh my God. I found some pictures from those days too, I'll show you later. It's incredible, yeah, it really was. Well, it's also the entire art world was in Soho, so, right outside my door, there was every gallery. It was really very convenient. Now it's so spread out now, it's very inconvenient. Chelsea and
Chelsea is too far and too big.
Yeah.
Remember,
Soho was amazing.
If you remember,
because also, you could have a social life too, because all the restaurants were there, and it was just very, very pleasant.
Yeah,
very good. It was a very good time, and the art world really operated in a much more social way. Now you have to make a huge effort to go to an opening or something, and to order. In my case, I can't walk, so I have to order a car. So it's radically different now. It really is.
But it is difficult also for people who walk, because everything is too spread.
Oh yeah, exactly.
It's too far.
I ride my bicycle those days.
Yeah, your bicycle. Yeah. You remember, Viana was telling that we had this big meeting, big people around me. I was lucky. It was a great time. You remember I met George Segal, yes.
Yeah.
Tom Wesselman, who was he was like a cowboy, fantastic man.
I know.
He was always offering me peanut butter with sandwich.
Yeah.
And I felt like very easy in his studio. It was very simple, but great. And there was Nanjum Pike, who gave
right around the corner. Yeah,
around the corner with you.
Yeah, right around the corner. We saw each other a lot. We ate breakfast together.
And in Queens, a little far, the great photographer Tony Vaccaro, who now is 97, believe it or not. He survived the coronavirus. And he was on the New York Times a few days ago. He is a fantastic man. He's still here with us.
Yeah,
and he did the Normandy disembarkment. So he did everything. He embraced.
Oh boy. Well, I'm doing, the site archives because for Columbia University and Centre Pompidou, I'm working on, all the archives and trying to get everything together. And I found a lot of stuff, although I'm missing a lot of stuff. I mean, Columbia took away many boxes of papers. So I wish I had known about this. I probably could have found things that would be very interesting, pictures and stuff. But they took it away, at least the first wave. They're going to take more. But at least the last year, I spent a lot of time archiving, just that whole period, because that was really the beginning of the site. We started in 1970, so and on that Greenfield, right next door, was Gordon Matta Clark and Alice Aycock, and then Mary Mist was there, Bob Smithson, Dennis Oppenheim. They all lived really, really very near.
Because the best, we lived the best, and the great connection. Do you remember, James? I'm also doing an archive. I'm working a lot at my archive because it will be for my next big exhibition of
a lot of work, though. I'm telling you, boy, I can't tell you. I mean, I have over 2,000 drawings. I try to, organize. It's just very, very
1,000 drawings, but you are the biggest in drawing. I've never seen anybody to draw like you. Listen, James, do you remember the episode of were you there when I did the performance at the MoMA?
Sure, I think
May I tell you how it happened? Because Viana wants me to tell you that.
Oh, okay.
Because I lost all my exhibition that was scheduled for.
Oh yeah, I remember that. I remember that whole.
That was great. I was really desperate, and what happened is that I was crying. I lost all the boxes with all my glass, Murano glass outside that they were stolen. So Vincenzo Agnetti, our big friend, came there and he said, "We are not artists of objects only, we are artists of brain. You must create a performance and do it here." So it was so strange because nobody was performing uptown at that time. And the young curator for the performance, I did this performance very, very strong. And he was there, and he was curating a group of young people from Europe, and he said, "You are invited to the MoMA to come and do a performance for us." Right. And also, I did the film screening, The Box of Life.
Right, yeah.
You remember that?
Sì, volevo dire che effettivamente questa chance di avere un imprevisto, un qualche cosa di negativo che si ribalta in qualcosa di positivo è straordinario. L'intervento del caso sarebbe piaciuto anche a John Cage. Anche James Wise ama i ribaltamenti, apprezza il rischio di cambiare una situazione, ma in questo caso tu hai realizzato veramente una mostra straordinaria che è stata quella di Interrogation, perché era un momento in cui le performance erano piuttosto praticate nell'underground e non in un museo. Tu hai occasione, per un disguido risolto intelligentemente da te brillantemente, con una sorta di promenade iniziatica dove avevi un abito bianco, spargevi rosa e camminavi, quindi era già un segno tuo che toccava la vita, la bellezza, la morte, che sono dei tuoi topoi. E quindi questa interrogation era una domanda che facevi a te stessa, perché era il calco del tuo volto elettrificato che veniva presentato in un contesto come quello del MoMA con questo titolo così significativo, e poi tutto un pannello con le tue maschere di plastica che in una seconda fase della performance veniva attaccato un quadro con la fiamma ossidrica sulla parola art, quindi tutti i gesti significativi che sicuramente James Wines apprezza, perché anche la sua attitudine è quella di ribaltare le cose, di chiedere a se stesso di mettersi in questione. Ma l'altra grande occasione che ti ha dato questa mostra al MoMA è stata la proiezione di The Box of Life del 79, prodotto al Centro Video di Ferrara.
Sì.
E dove tu porti un altro tuo elemento, quello del corpo in frammenti, disteso su un piano.
Il corpo che io bruciavo.
Ecco, e anche lì elegante, con gesti molto precisi. Tu sciogli questo corpo in frammenti di cera e arrivi a terminare il video, il film in 16 mm, con una frase: d'altronde sono sempre gli altri a morire, una citazione di Marcel Duchamp.
Marcel Duchamp, purtroppo adesso ci sto pensando in modo diverso, avendo raggiunto gli 80 anni anch'io. James, do you remember Mercer Street, when I did the installation with the hands?
Strap hangers.
Strap hangers was the result of my stress of performing at the Museum of Modern Art. I said, no, my next piece must be a performing piece, will take my place. Al posto mio, la mia stessa opera si consumerà davanti allo spettatore.
Yeah, it was interesting because also with the museums, that was just the beginning of recognizing performance art and giving it accommodation, because, there was a lot that was really the beginning of it, and it was very much connected to the environmental artists. So it was all there, it was really incredible.
Yeah.
Amazing.
But James, also you are a deconstructive, as Federica Marangoni, like the philosopher Jacques Derrida. Yeah. You love deconstruction.
Più o meno, no.
Più o meno. Però la green architecture, le tue... I tuoi piani inclinati e tutto questo, questa messa a rischio fantastico dell'equilibrio, veramente. Comunque Strap Hanger è stato di nuovo una mostra forte in cui tu dai una connotazione sociologica e antropologica al tuo lavoro.
Yeah, I was much more that. Yeah, I was much more involved with the sociology and the psychology of the situation where you would recognize something, the art form, whether it's painting or sculpture or whatever, but use the art form itself as a subject matter, rather than, designs like formalist architecture is always the same. It's always the same premise. And so it's just the opposite, where the architecture is really only a subject matter for art. So it's a different point of view. Definitely.
James, may I ask you if you have any memory of when we did all those activities of design in New York? I remember that time of the restaurants. We did the business together with my friend Fabrizio Pressi. Two artists working together, it makes a lot of imagination in a normal restaurant. He did the bike, Ciao Bella. I did the walk on the wall of the oniric shoes in glass. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember
the stress time.
I think an opening or something at one of them.
And maybe you remember the day of when we did the day of the ceramic for the design day.
Yeah, the design fair. Yeah.
With Massimo Vignelli and Lella, they were there, and you had your boots, your white boots. Beautiful.
Yeah, well, they had that big design center on Long Island. It's not there anymore. There were so many things that were happening at that time. It really was.
Many things we did, and we were very, very connected because of this concept of creating things. Also, the most simple things like a restaurant, they needed to have a meaning. to have a social concept to give to the world. I mean, not just a restaurant. Because I thought that all those ideas as to bring a certain Italian quality, but also some dreams. My red shoes walking on the wall were an artistic dream. Instead, they were shoes, the Nikes from of the UP Uptown.
But I remember there was a lot of nice stuff. Like Max's Kansas City at that time, and also there was the food restaurant, Gordon Mattaclark's restaurant on the corner, where we used to go somewhere.
Yes.
Yeah. No, it was really incredible. It was an entirely concept-based period. In fact, I never heard an artist at that time, talk about their career. They just talked about their art. Now, if you go to these big art fairs, all the artists do is talk about their career. It's really incredible.
Tu ricordi della mostra quella dalla Holly Solomon?
Ma è esattamente il 1995, è una data veramente importante nella tua vita a New York, che segna un lavoro che anticipa, è profetico rispetto ai tempi relativamente all'inquinamento, alle denunce della pollution, veramente in tempi profetici. Tu fai questo lavoro, Fragments, dalla Holly Solomon, ma quello che è straordinario, Federica, è che chi ti invita calorosamente è Nanjun Paik, questo gigante del video, sperimentatore che ti stima. Ecco, parla della tua amicizia con Nanjun Paik.
Nanjun è venuto a Venezia, ha visto le mie cose e ha detto: "Well done Marangoni, little TV, lot of glass." and then and the second thing he said, I never forget these things. He said, "Oh, the cage, you did the cage before cage."
Fantastico!
And then he helped me, because I couldn't have realized that the exhibition at the Holly without his help, his assistance, his equipment. He gave me everything. And he had a big concept in his life. He was not jealous of other people using his technology, of his way, material to make art. He was happy to have produced a generation of artists that were looking at him like the big master, He did that. He was
well, the one thing he did, though, Namjoon Paik did, is he used the media as a subject matter. Like I was saying about architecture, we were using architecture as a subject matter, not as an objective. And he wasn't trying to make video productions. He was using the actual objects and the conditions and the technology to make art. So he was really using the media not so much for conventional communication. He was using it as art. He was making art out of not only the television sets, but the actual processes of creating images. So he was very much part of that idea of using things as subject matter rather than the objective. He wasn't doing conventional TV.
Exactly like you did in architecture with your shops.
Yeah, very, very interesting. Very.
And he helped me a lot. I did it. And the big sphere.
I remember
inside all the video about the disaster of the earth, was the earth asking to help to men. Men were destroying in that moment, started to destroy the environment, and the world was in pieces. And that is what we see now with all the disasters that are attacking us.
True. That's why your MoMA piece was so prophetic. It talked about everything that happened. We published in 1978. We published that On-Site On Energy book, and that book is the writing in that book. Almost any one of those writers could be writing it today, because it was a very prophetic period. I mean, everybody was conscious that the environment was being destroyed in every way, and it needed to be saved and reconcile what's happening. And so it was an amazing period. It was amazing in the fact that we kind of, even without, being pushed by science or by ecologists or anything, we all sensed that something terrible was going on. And now it's a disaster.
Now, a disaster, I still believe that virus is part of the disaster.
Yeah, no, it is.
The
virus is just one manifestation.
Yeah.
And everything gets worse. The hurricanes get worse. The tides get worse. I mean, the flooding gets worse. The wind gets worse. It's just
fire,
everything. Yeah. And the viruses get more intense. So I mean, it's everything is. But that's what they keep saying. They say this coronavirus is just part of the picture. When the real damage to the environment starts having an effect. I mean, the world is in big trouble. It really, really will be in big trouble.
Big trouble, yes.
Yeah.
Federica, digli è una cosa che mi fa pensare rispetto a quanto dice James Wines, è il distanziamento sociale che d'ora in avanti colpirà il mondo della cultura e dell'arte. Infatti un filosofo italiano, Giorgio Agamben, ha detto: è entrato una nuova parola nel lessico occidentale, il distanziamento sociale, il che è tremendo. Comunque tu hai anticipato con la sfera spezzata in due, gli specchi, i 10 video, tutte queste scatenamenti della natura di fronte a un uomo che ha esaurito le risorse, che è stato sconsiderato nel ferire la terra. E nella mostra Fragments, di frammenti di vetro, molto significativo nel tuo lavoro, hai fatto parlare la terra, hai fatto vedere quei gabbiani nella pollution che non riescono a volare, che hanno le ali ricoperte di petrolio nero, e quindi hai fatto una denuncia dell'inquinamento della pollution, ma anche hai fatto un memento importante rispetto a quello che poteva succedere, ed è stata sicuramente un'occasione di visibilità del tuo lavoro a New York fondamentale. E poi essere invitata da Nanjun Paik, che aveva realizzato a Kassel, documenta, una video jungle con la sintonia, che io ero rimasta strabiliata di questo nuovo linguaggio come quello tuo, con innovazioni, ribaltamenti, forzature come quello di James Wines. Avete in comune la forza di ribaltare degli stati fermi in cui il mondo non avverte quello che voi artisti, sismografi sensibilissimi, percepite, come poi sarà il tuo the tree of life.
Is my final gift to my town, my beloved town. James, for me to have left that piece for the Rudin collection, the Tree of Life, has been not only a great thing to have sold such a public piece, but to have something of mine that stays there.
Yeah.
My beloved town, where I have done a piece with my hands in glass that are like embracing, like I wanted to touch the skylight of Manhattan. Right. So we have a technological tree born in Manhattan.
Fantastic.
I mean, it's very relevant too, because it's going to be interesting. Now that there's mentioning social distancing. I mean, the world is going to change now because half of humanity is going to always be afraid now of virus infection. So a lot of people are going to continue social distancing. And the other half of the people are going to want to be together, clustered and interactive. So you're going to have to kind of the whole world will have to be redesigned for two sets of people with two different sensibilities, separation and clustering. So that's going to be a huge impact on urban design and architecture and art and everything. Because, you know, it's not going to be as easy to fill a theater full of people anymore, or fill a museum full of crowds. I mean, you know, we've been depending on large gatherings of people for hundreds of years.
Exactly what happens to Venice now. Everything is closed. The Biennale is closed for a year, and Venice is more than that, because I don't know how we will pick up for an entire year without any art. Is a platform, is a big chance for this town, and nothing happens.
Here too. I mean, New York is like, you know, we look out our window and there's nothing. It's absolutely closed down.
Let's hope that we can find the energy of the help to survive for this entire year, when we cannot produce nothing. The next finale will be...
Or the whole thing has to change. In other words, the access. I mean, that's why I'm doing all these Zoom meetings. I'm sure you are too. I'm doing Zoom meetings, Zoom lectures, and Zoom...
But we cannot live on Zoom meetings, for sure. And we miss a lot the contact with the human being when we went to the opening, when everybody was there. This will be a memory for a long time.
Yeah.
Maybe we will find another way of showing things to people.
Well, we're doing it right now. We're doing the other way, but you know, even that now apparently the technology, the whole computer system, is being overtaxed. I mean, it's being strained, and there's a lot of shutdowns and breakdowns and everything in this whole, you know, digital system. You know, the idea of everything being virtual means that it puts too much demand on the source. It's just incredible. I mean, you know, I don't know what we're going to do.
It is incredible. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we're doing it now because, you know, people are just, you know, sort of getting into it. But I'm sure in another year, we're all going to be sitting at home, working digitally, working in a virtual world, and then the whole thing will break down.
Yeah, it's true. We need the connection with other people. We need human contact.
You need it. I mean, it's
Diana, tu cosa ne pensi? Adesso io spero che l'albero della vita che ho lasciato lì un giorno andrò a toccarlo di nuovo, fisicamente.
Sì, infatti, ma tu hai coinvolto sempre anche il corpo nella tua opera, quindi la sensorialità. Una delle caratteristiche del tuo lavoro è proprio il significante e il significato, questa capacità di dare forma a un pensiero, ma anche includere il corpo. E l'albero della vita, The Tree of Life, io trovo che è straordinario come invenzione, perché tu hai messo queste due lastre di acciaio accostate con la sagoma in negativo dell'albero, e l'idea geniale è stata quella di mettere il neon verde, che ha creato un fantasma dell'albero, una specie di simulacro, ma questo anche come denuncia di quella sparizione della natura che purtroppo l'uomo continua a creare.
I really want to thank you for being with me tonight, and for helping me to remember the great years, which will, you know, be a sort of medicine for us. The memory is a medicine for hoping for the future. Grazie, Viana Conti.
Grazie.
Sempre. Vi saluto, amici.